Hi everyone, this is Nadia. I am an occult specialist that uses spiritual intelligence to empower entrepreneurs into a health empowered money story to live a balanced life. Today's round, I'm going to be covering something that was discussed by myself and a friend in a really interesting conversation, and it is about one of the Goetic spirits that actually I have worked with but I've never covered because I usually talk about Clarnic and Bune. I've actually worked with Belial quite a bit, so today's video is dedicated to King Belial and how to heal the trauma crown of lead. Okay, that might be a mouthful and I'm gonna try and explain this as best as possible. So because I don't have a tiara or a crown with me at the moment, the easiest thing that I could find was the crown on my book, which is The Sovereign Feminine. You can grab it on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. So I want everybody to imagine this crown on their head at present. If you're a lady, that's fine. If you're a guy, imagine a heavier crown for yourself. Okay, so trauma is a very interesting thing. Trauma is basically the result of interpersonal violence. It could be something you couldn't escape. It could be abuse that you've gone through, narcissistic abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse, neglect, all those kind of things where it leaves your body in a certain state where whatever you used to be, the non-traumatized or the healthy version of you, it's almost like what this trauma shield does is that it creates amnesia, or like a temporary form of memory loss where we constantly look at things from a trauma-based perspective or from a trauma lens as opposed to from a healthy, healed perspective. Now, Belial actually covered this with a friend and myself as well, so we were discussing it and I really wanted to make a video and cover this for a lot of people. So going back to that little crown, so imagine putting it on your head. So lots of people have this really strong crown. It's like an invisible crown on their head, and the crown is all of trauma. It's the trauma crown, as I call it, which obviously in the crown chakra, which is the top point of the chakra inside your head, which is literally just about here essentially. That crown is made from lead, or the metal of lead. Now it comes as no surprise that in ancient times a lot of people wanted to be quite fair and they rubbed lead on their skin like a skin whitener, but actually they don't realize that everything that goes through the first layer of the skin, the dermis, the epidermis, and all the deeper layers, it was gone within 30 seconds. Everything had permeated into the bloodstream. Now lead poisoning can often kill people, and what happens is that if you have this heavy crown of trauma that's in your head, on your head all the time, it's permeating into your bloodstream. Basically what I'm trying to say in other words here is that when you look at things from a trauma-based perspective, you miss good things in life because your energy alignment is you're not aligned with it. It's like car tires. If they're too low, you can feel it on the suspension when you drive, and when you inflate them you feel like the car's gone up, and obviously it costs less in petrol and gas as well, and obviously it's better for like CO2 emissions and that type of thing. So I want you to imagine that crown essentially, and that crown, it's made of lead and you're holding it. It's really heavy on your head. It's like a burden and you're feeling it all the time. So what does trauma make you do? It makes you close up to other people. It makes you think that everybody has an agenda. It makes you think that all people are rotten, corrupt, mean, greedy, blah blah, which there are benefits of trauma as well, but which I'll probably cover in another round. But as for now, trauma damages you at the core. I know, being a trauma survivor myself and somebody who's actually been able to heal those shields of trauma, or that lead of crown really well, it damages you. It just stops you living your life in many ways. It's like watching a movie and hitting the pause button and you're stuck. It's not stop. You're just literally hit the pause button and that's it. And your life is frozen. That's kind of like what complex post-traumatic stress disorder is, PTSD, anything that affects the mind, anything that I just don't, and you think to yourself, maybe I'm mad, maybe I'm crazy, I don't feel stable, I don't feel normal. What does healthy look like? What does normal look like? I don't want to feel my emotions. I hate my emotions. I shut them down. I don't want to feel anything. Well, that's the crown of trauma that I'm talking about. The crown of lead that's on top of your head. It's permeating. All those thoughts are going into your psyche constantly, day and night. And what's happening is that an energetic level from a neuroplasticity point of view. So neuroplasticity inside the brain is traditionally, the brain is very flexible. We can mold it as to what we want. That's why when we say you change your timeline of thinking, you start thinking as in, yes, I can do it, I will do it, I have to do it, I must do it, as opposed to I can't, I won't, I shan't, blah blah, whatever it is. And this is not the dichotomy or the Hegelian tribe of, you know, positive versus negative, because each have their own benefits in their own realm. But it's about keeping a enthusiastic frame of mind, irrespective of how miserable or depressed you could be. Because I remember covering this in a video that, you know, learn to see opportunities instead of barriers in life. Now we look at this crown. Let's imagine the little crown on my head, because that's the only way I can do it in the video. So imagine a little crown on my head, and there's a crown of lead, and it's permeated my bloodstream, and I felt so much pain all the time with it. And I'm blocking good friends, I'm blocking a great man, or if you're a man watching this, a woman. I'm blocking good clients, I'm blocking people to hang out with, to have fun, to socialize with, because it constantly creates this mistrust and this gap where even people with well-meaning intentions cannot come to your life, and you're guarded. You keep yourself like this all the time without you realizing it. And lots of people are going to be watching this and they keep themselves guarded because, well, one person fucked me up, I don't trust anybody. That's the trauma crown or the trauma shields. And when those shields start to melt from you, you feel so much better. So what's the solution, basically? The best thing I would say is that we go back to this little crown. So now the crown was of lead, but guess what? We use the power of alchemy. So back in, you know, the medieval times, and even people, they're doing it at present. I've read some really interesting occult books with how people are turning, you know, base metals into gold, and they have this, their whole way of looking at it. They used to turn like lower metals into gold, and that was their alchemy. Well, how can we turn this crown of pain, of trauma, of misery, of sadness, of sickness? How can we transmute it? How can we turn it into this shining, you know, this what you can see, the shine in this crown, where it's gold basically, and you know, this beautiful luminous solar gold where it's shiny, you're happy, you feel good. How can we transmute that? Because remember, for all the times that trauma is inside your body, it's transmuting. The lead is poisoning you. The lead is the trauma, and it's going inside your body consistently, but you have to turn it into something that's gold. So essentially, you're taking a base metal, you're taking something where you were once okay, and then you were damaged by the trauma, and then you're actually flipping it over. And that flip is sort of like how I feel with my teeth when my braces are moving them. It's just painful. But the flip, basically, you see the resistance that I'm pushing, and it gets to that, it flips. And then from lead, it flips onto gold. But it's not like this. That's not, this is resistance. You're pushing against as much as possible. And when you push the resistance and you finally get to that other side, or the opposite side, whether you've started west to east or north to south or vice versa, whichever you want to cover, that gold starts to shine. What is the shine? The shine means hope. It means luminosity. It means, yes, I can stand up and do it. It means, yes, there are good people out there. It means, yes, I do have a solution to my issue. It means, yes, I don't have to be guarded anymore, because I trust my intuition to tell me who are the right people in my life and who are the wrong people. And people often have this mentality that just because I've known someone so long, they're the right people. You could have met somebody a couple of times and that person is healthier for you. You could have met them in passing, like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, as opposed to someone you've known for 20, 30 years. So I always invite people to take a close introspection of who they have around you and who do you want to bring into your life. So the idea to really transmute that energy is do the energy work, period. What is energy work? Yes, you can practice magic. I always say that if you want to. Magic heals your body very well, and it can take you away from things like big pharma and stuff like that, which is only going to cause more pain, more sadness, more sickness, because the doctors have taken a Hippocratic oath to... They tell you to keep you well, but we all know it's something else, right? And any patient that is cured is profit lost. Basically, the profit for them is in the sickness, not in the health, either way, basically. Okay, so transmuting this base metal, this crown of lead that's so heavy and you can barely hold it, and you're constantly feeling this trauma's weighing you down and killing you. How do you transmute it into something that's happy, something that's powerful? And you only wish that you could go back to what you were. Well, guess what? You're never going to go back to what you were, because that trauma has given you gifts. One of the biggest gifts of trauma is increasing your spiritual ability, is increasing your awareness, is increasing your psychic gift, is increasing your intuition. So it's not all bad, but what I do say to people is that do the energy work. Heal yourself at the core, heal yourself at a DNA level. Seek people who can perform energetic healing on you to pull everything out of your body. And it's not just, oh, we'll sit here and we'll wave some hands over you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. If you have healing hands, wonderful, but do things that prove they have results, things that are taking stuff out of your body, things that are taking stuff out of your heart, things that are taking stuff out of your mind. Because there's so many people who have so much lodged in their heart. That's why I do heart wall clearings. There's so many people that have things lodged in their in generational trauma with money. Oh, it's spiritually to be poor, it's spiritual to be poor, or rich people are greedy, they're evil, blah blah, all that kind of bullshit. There's only so much you can do in the head. You have to take it out at a core level to keep pulling it out. And you see, the body is very funny. I'll cover this at some later perspective. Almost everybody to a degree, because of the black guy, the antimatter. Please look up Prometheus's black goo if you want to know what it is. It's weighed the human body down to a point that now they're vibrating at that low, dirty, nasty frequency. This is a global problem. This is not just me or you watching this. Everybody's going through this because of what they're spraying at the moment on us, what we're eating, everything. So how do you shunt yourself out of it? How do you pull that change that crown? You don't have to change the crown per se and take it off and put the gold. How do you change the lead into gold? It's when you stand up and say, you know what, I don't accept this trauma in my life anymore. I don't accept being miserable, and I want to do the right thing to be able to help me to feel lighter, to feel clearer, to do it. Remember, no one's coming to change your life. You change your life yourself. If 1 year, 2 year, 3 year passes and your life is still in the same place, it's because you subconsciously want it to be in the same place. You don't want change because you're so comfortable not changing. You're so comfortable being in a certain place and having victimhood as a currency for you. You trade it to people. You make them feel sorry for you. Examine all the ways that you are using sympathy as a crutch instead of results. If people just feel sorry for me, that's that. You don't like people feeling sorry for you. Are you really sure about that? I said that to somebody one day, because if X amount of time has passed in your life and no one can see change, including yourself, that crown of lead is getting heavier, 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 and it's permeating your bloodstream to the point that eventually your health, your mental health, your emotional health, sexual health, physical health will all deteriorate. So it's up to you to get up, to say, I'm not doing this anymore. If I'm healthy in one place, I'm going to take the money and I'm going to push it into all my energetic healing and find it. If you've got an insurmountable or impossible problem, it's only impossible because your mind and your spirit have accepted it as impossible. When you don't accept something as impossible and say there is a solution, you will always find a solution. So I'm super grateful for King Belial, to King Belial, who is the tiger parent, or the king boss spirit of the Goetic pantheon, which is the 72 spirits, Solmonic spirits. I probably will be covering more things on Belial at some point. Some of you have made Duchess Bune requests and I have taken them into account, so I will be making videos on Lady Duchess Bune and sophisticated and eloquent living very, very soon. Again, thank you so much for watching this. It makes me really happy to share what Belial has said, because it's super heavy. Turn the crown from lead into gold and the trauma shields will drop. Guaranteed. I've done it. You can do it too. Okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm excited to hear your comments in the section below. If you have any questions, you can DM us, support@thespartanite.com, or hit me up in the little comment section below. And also the links for the Sovereign Feminine will also be in the section that you can find it and purchase it on Amazon. Take care. I hope you have a good one. Bye.